Good morning. Yesterday was a very special 100th anniversary. It was the anniversary of Carl Capek producing a play entitled RUR. It stood for Rossum's Universal Robots. It premiered in Prague. It turned out that it was a play about the creation of these subhuman things that were destined to be slaves and to serve its makers. And of course, as things always happen, when you create these robots, they always rise up and then destroy their makers. Well, that's what happened with this play. But it was the first time in history for someone to use the word robot. And to demonstrate what is a robot, well, it is something that is created, enslaved to serve its makers. Well, the play was so popular, it spread around the world. In the next 2 years, it was translated into over 30 different languages. And this whole concept of a robot and the word robot now entered our imagination and our language. It'd be 18 years later, in 1939, they created Electro, a 7-foot-tall, mechanical-looking person for a special fair. He weighed 265 pounds and had a voice that was a 78 RPM record playing inside of it. 1956, there was the show Forbidden Planet, and now you had Robbie the Robot. If you go look him up, you will see and recognize him. In 1961, there was actually a mechanical arm, a robot, that was installed at a GM plant that was supposed to do work that was mundane and yet could be dangerous, and it would do it more effectively. 1961, 60 years ago, we were installing the first robotic arm. It was in 1977, Star Wars, and we had R2-D2. Now that was a robot that everybody fell in love with, and every movie he would wind up saving all of the characters. 2008, Wall-E, produced by Pixar. Again, what a wonderful little robot. Through the years, we have begun to believe more and more in what robotics can do, and science finally caught up with science fiction. Caught up so much that in 2019, there were 373,000 industrial robots sold to be in manufacturing. It is estimated there were 2.7 million robots in use in the world. In that same year, there was 173,000 professional service robots sold. Robots that are now helping to work in warehouses and yet in cleaning, service, all kinds of things. And they expect that to be 537,000 service robots a year sold in the next 2 years. Nowadays, our robots have software. They have all kinds of sensors and Wi-Fi. We're developing AI, artificial intelligence, believing these robots can even now begin to think. And of course, 100 years later, after they were first introduced, what we really are worried about is these robots taking over those who made them, because we have enslaved them. I think the fun thing is we really don't have to worry about robots taking over and enslaving us. What we really need to worry about is we are becoming robots and enslaved to our passions. It was the Apostle Paul who would say to the people in Galatia, "For freedom Christ has set us free. Stand fast, therefore, and do not submit again to a yoke of slavery. For you are called to freedom, brethren, only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love be servants of one another. For the whole law is fulfilled in one word, you shall love your neighbor as yourself." It's fun to go back and remember the history of robots, those mechanical creatures that we created to enslave, to serve us. And it's a great time to remember, we should not become robots enslaved to our passions, for you have been set free, and in your freedom, you are able to go out and love your neighbor, no exception. Have a great day.